Revenue Division. David Muthoka, KTN News, Nairobi.
So in the next few hours, focus will be on the 7 judges of the Supreme Court who will deliver their judgment on the contested presidential election of August the 9th, pitting the current deputy president, who was declared president-elect, William Ruto, and the Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate, Raila Odinga. Our senior political affairs reporter, Chris Thyro, takes a look at the profiles of the 7 judges who will determine whether Kenyans will go back to the ballot or not.
11 years old, the Supreme Court is the highest court in the land. It has the final say on constitutional matters and exclusive jurisdiction to hear and determine presidential election petitions.
Welcome to the Supreme Court of Kenya for the hearing of presidential election petition number 5.
And now all eyes will be on the lords and ladyships of the Supreme Court. Chief Justice Martha Koome, Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu, Justice Mohammed Ibrahim, Justice Isaac Lenaola, Justice Njoki Ndung'u, Justice Smokin Wanjala, and Justice William Ouko.
Good morning, running council and the parties.
The country's 15th Chief Justice, Lady Justice Martha Koome, who is the president of the court, was appointed Chief Justice on the 21st of May 2021. She is the first woman to hold position of Chief Justice. She was admitted to the role of advocate in 1987, and for 15 years, she was a legal practitioner and firebrand activist on constitutional changes and child rights. She was elected chairperson of the Federation of Women Lawyers, Kenya chapter, in 1997. The 61-year-old CJ joined the judiciary in 2003 as a High Court judge and served until 2011 when she was appointed to the Court of Appeal. She served as a senior judge of the Court of Appeal before her appointment as CJ. She holds Bachelor of Law degree from the University of Nairobi, a postgraduate diploma in law from the Kenya School of Law, and a Master of Law degree from the University of London. Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu served as acting Chief Justice for 5 months before the appointment of Justice Martha Koome following the retirement of Chief Justice David Maraga. She was picked as the Deputy Chief Justice by the Judicial Service Commission in 2016. Her rise to the highest court in the land began in the year 2008 when she was appointed as a High Court judge. She served in the Commercial Division in Nairobi before she was moved to Eldoret and back to Nairobi, where she served at the Criminal Court and the Environment and Land Division of the High Court. In November 2012, she was appointed to the Court of Appeal. 64-year-old Justice Philomena Mwilu holds a Bachelor and Master of Law degrees from the University of Nairobi. Justice Mohammed Ibrahim was appointed to the inaugural Supreme Court on 16th June 2011. Following a long legal career, which began in 1983, he was admitted to the role of advocate as soon as he obtained a Bachelor of Laws degree from the University of Nairobi. After 20 years in private practice, he was appointed as a High Court judge on the 22nd May 2003. He served at the Civil Division of the High Court before he was transferred to the Commercial Division, moving on to serve as a resident judge in Eldoret and Mombasa until he was elevated to the Supreme Court. 62-year-old Justice Dr. Smokin Wanjala first stint at the judiciary was at the Supreme Court. He was appointed to the Supreme Court under the coalition government by the then President Mwai Kibaki and Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Justice Smokin Wanjala was among 5 applicants picked by the Judicial Service Commission to serve in the Supreme Court. His career began in the lecture halls at the University of Nairobi. For 2 decades, from 1986, he lectured on various aspects of law, among them international law, human rights law, land law, and law of the sea. A former nominated member of parliament and one of the architects of the Sexual Offences Act 2006, Lady Justice Njoki Ndung'u, was appointed to the inaugural Supreme Court on the 11th of June 2011. Her first time serving the judiciary. An advocate, she began her career in 1989 as a state counsel in the office of the Attorney General and went on to work at the Institute for Education and Democracy, UNHCR. She holds a Bachelor of Law degree from the University of Nairobi and a Master of Law degree in Human Rights and Civil Liberties. The latest appointee to the Supreme Court, Justice William Ouko, was appointed to the Supreme Court in May 2021. 34 years after he joined the judiciary as a district magistrate, he rose through the ranks and served as Deputy Registrar, Senior Deputy Registrar, Principal Registrar, Chief court administrator and registrar High Court between 1990 to 2004. He holds a Masters of Criminology and Criminal Justice from Egerton University and a diploma from a Kenya School of Law.
IBC should provide certified copies of Forms 32A.
The youngest judge of the Supreme Court, 54-year-old Isaac Lenaola, was appointed the judge of the Supreme Court in October 2016. Until his appointment to the Supreme Court, Justice Lenaola was presiding judge of the Constitutional Human Rights Division at the High Court and served at the East African Court of Justice. He was a commissioner at the Judicial Service Commission, as a member in the Judicial Training Institute, as the chairman of Kenya Magistrate and Judges Association, and a treasurer at the East African Magistrate and Judges Association. Justice Lenaola, who practiced law specializing in commercial law and land law, also served as a commissioner at the Constitution of Kenya Review Commission. 5 out of the 7 judges participated in last year's presidential petition of 2017 that nullified the election of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Chris Dairo, KTN News, Nairobi.
Now, still within the corridors of justice, a battery of the country's top legal minds were between Tuesday and Friday